Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to Market Psychology 101, where we try to find value where there is fear and to be cautious when there is greed. If you like anything I say today, please feel free to like and subscribe. So, speaking of fear and greed, we're still in the same. This is macro crypto fear and greed. Macro wise, we're still trending up as far as greed goes. I would not doubt if we go a bit higher into extreme greed. I am cautiously expecting Bitcoin to move a little bit higher. A lot of people are talking about the 48 to 52,000 range. That seems to be the most common sentiment. I am looking for possibly even higher. So I've talked a bit on this channel about how are having a lot of similar signs as we did in 2019. I'm not sure we'll get up quite this level. That's about 95 on the greed index, maybe somewhere in the 80s, because I do believe as Bitcoin ages over time that we become less volatile overall. Now, it's still going to have very volatile moves, but let's go to Bitcoin here. I'm going to take a look at the chart. And right now, this is on the weekly. I'm zoomed out a bit. Right now, we have been moving up for a bit. On the RSI, we are overbought. If we go to the 1 year, that's where I have this trend line, which we have broken underneath. I am expecting this to go to overbought again. And I'm curious to see if on the relative strength index, the RSI, if we're just going to kind of touch the bottom of this trend line and then start to go down. And that might mean we could still see a higher move in the price action. Because look, if you look straight up on the line, every time we've gone up on this RSI, we move up in price action. Okay. Even when we were oversold, we moved up in price action. We went more oversold and we moved sideways. So that was bullish. So I still think that another big move is possible. I'm going to zoom out here a bit. And I'm going to show you, well, first of all, you guys see how I have drawn out buy zones and mega buy zones. That's just for myself. Now that we've escaped this pit of death over here, and if I zoom out more, this FTX sell-off area right down here, I equate to this area here back after we had the 2017 bull run and the 2018 bear market. Call this the pit of death. Everything in here is the area where you could have accumulated and where Bitcoin was accumulating for the next mega bull run. So again, I'm just looking at this area as the pit of death, and that everything in here, it's underneath where we had the mega bull run where there was formerly support, and now we've gone above it. So coming back down, that would be resistance. And I still think we can go higher. But I still see this area as big accumulation zone, anywhere from really 20,000 to 35,000. So if we get under 35 again, I'm going to look to buy. Now, let's take a look at the Fibonacci's. So the Fibonacci tool, it's over here on the left. You see these lines here, the fib retracement. There's other ones you can use. Admittedly, I have to learn a bit more about these other ones like the fib spiral and all that. So what you do is as we're going up in a bull market move, we're going to start from the bottom. If we were tracing from a bear market move, we would start from the top. So we would find wherever the highest move is and draw it to the low. And just by doing this is the first time I've done this in a long time. As you can see, after we hit the very low, where have we gotten stuck? We've gotten stuck at this 0.5 level right here. Maybe we go to the 618, which a lot of people are calling for because that's like the 48 to 50,000 move. We've talked about that. The 786, it's about 58,000. Okay. Now for a bull move, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to start from down here and we're going to draw up to the top line. And this might not be exact, But as you can see, as we've worked our way up, we encountered a lot of resistance at this 0.5 level, and that's common. When we draw our fibs, you're going to see the 0.5 typically get hit a little bit, and we've broken through. We've gone all the way up. So where might this come back down to again? It's pretty close to where I have my buy zone line. If we were to come back down to the 382, that's why I'm looking to see what is it going to do at that 382 level. Okay, and I'm going to go back to the 2019 area of Bitcoin to show you why I've drawn that out. Because oftentimes, guys, we might be waiting for a level, and I've shown you this before with the Amazon chart. I was waiting for Amazon to go below 80, and it just barely touched it very quickly and bounced off. So if you give yourself a little bit of room to buy, and you do not have to time the exact bottom, okay? But if we were to get under that level, the 382, and go back down to the 0.5, that's about 30,000. And I think 30,000 is going to be a very strong area to reaccumulate again. Again, here it's at 26,000. Now, my buy zone, I've drawn between 25 and 35. The fibs kind of line up between it. So that's why. So yeah, as you see this move here, we've gone all the way up, and maybe long term we might go back down to the 0.5. Now, what is interesting, I was just playing with the fibs a little bit, even going backwards. What was interesting to me, I was playing with this before we were even making this video, because typically for a bull move you draw the fib this way. For a bear move, you go from the top to the bottom. When I drew this out, I saw this and I was like, well, that's interesting, because as we've looked at the pi cycle, Bitcoin high-low, look where this line is up here. It's lining up to where, well, you guys can see that. I didn't draw it far enough. let me delete this. This is like the worst fib video you've ever seen. Let's get this way out here. There we go. That's better. As you can see where the pi cycle high is, if we were to get up there, and I am wondering if we're going to get up there, that obviously this is a moving average, so it's not going to just rocket here straight today. But maybe we hit that Bitcoin pi cycle high. And the reason I bring that up is because back in 2019, we hit that pi cycle high. And we wicked above it, the body went to it. So let's just draw some, let's get this out of the way first so we can see more of what we're doing. Sorry, I'm using like a finger mouse pad here. It makes it a little tricky sometimes. As we draw fibs back here, just looking and comparing to what we were just looking at, again, we got stuck briefly around the 0.5, went to the top, and then as we retraced and reaccumulated, look at what happened. We hovered a lot around the 0.5, sometimes went above it to the 382, went down to the 618, 382. Here we went way down to the 786. So if you would have bought anything in here between the 618, 786, that would have been the best time to buy. This time, the second best time. But most of the time was around this 0.5 area, okay? And here, not the worst. And as we got back up there between the 236 and the 382, eventually we shot off. So let's draw that again. Let's draw our fibs again, assuming that something similar is going to happen. Now, again, we might go up to, like I said, we might go up to 60,000. And if so, that would change things a lot. But just from where we are at right now, that's how I'm making this assessment. If we move higher, we have to redraw these fibs. But just from where we are right now, remember the comparison we made before, If we ever get below this 618 to the 786 again, that's about 20, 21.7. You could just say 22 to 26, and I'm looking way over on the right here. So 22 to 27, roughly. That the last time we were accumulating in here was the best time to buy after we hit this top, when we were retracing for a while before going back up. Now, guys, this comes with a caveat. This is if you believe in the 4-year cycle, that the top is not going to be in early mid 24. Some people believe it will be. I personally don't. Again, not financial advice. Any of these channels are. This is YouTube, so take everything anyone says with a grain of salt. But if this is replaying any bit similar, anything in here from the 22 to 27 zone would be yellow ape-in strong buy area. Now, the other areas that we have here, the 618 to the 0.5, we have about 27 to 30,000. I think that would be a very strong buy. I would be happy to buy anything in there, alts, Bitcoin, etc. And between the 0.5 and the 382, it's about 34,000 to 30,000. Okay. Again, I've drawn 25 to 35 because, guys, sometimes we'll hit these fib retracement levels and we just bounce and there's no time to buy anything. So I'm just looking for zones to buy in. I'm taking the macro long-term approach to DCAN. I'm not worried about buying the exact bottoms. I'm just looking at from where the price is right now, what are the strong areas to accumulate? Could you buy between the 236 and the 382? Sure, you could. Okay. Me personally, I would wait till it's close to the 382 when it's under this 35 zone from where the price is now, and then I would buy. From the 30 to 35 zone, I think would be a fine area to long-term dollar cost average in. And if things got below that, then I would buy more. But again, we're just taking a look at the long-term areas of where to invest, and we may go higher. We may absolutely go higher, like I was showing you. Maybe let's draw that pi cycle high-low again. And let's just change this fib a little bit. Let's change it to around that. We'll drop right up to that line. Even though I've been saying 60, you know what? Heck with it. Let's get it on 60. 60,000. If this were to happen, how does this change things comparing to the 2019 cycle? How this would change things is if that was the top, around 60,000, if we do get there, then you're looking at great times to buy being under where we are now, the 43,000 level to the 38,000, from 38,000 to 33, and then the mega buy zone would then move up from this 25 to 33,000 zone. Again, that's if it were to go higher, all the way to 60. Let's just play with it a little bit. Some people are expecting it to go to 50. So let's draw this line as close to 50 as possible. Oh my God. I'm sorry. There we go. Let's get rid of this indicator here. So we're just playing with different numbers again. So maybe we go up to 50,000 like everyone's expecting. If that were to happen, then how does it change things? A good buy zone would be, again, we're looking all the way at the right, would be 37 to 33,000 in there, and anything under 33,000, we're drawing 0.5 to the 618 to the 29,000 would be a very good buying zone. And then your yellow ape-in area would be around that 29,000. Again, we're just rounding numbers here to 23,000. Okay. Again, guys, all this can change based off the price action and what it's doing. As we take a look at some other indicators real quick, nothing's changed. Weekly, we haven't gotten a buy or sell signal. Things are still in greed, and in the stocks recently, extreme greed. So nothing's really changed on any of these indicators. If we take a look at I like the volume-based support and resistance zone indicator. What does that show from where we are at now? Well, as you can see, there's this purple area up here. That's the 48 to 52,000 zone everyone's talking about. I do see us making a move there, and possibly even to 60,000 if we get a true parabolic move with any ETF approval coming up. If an ETF approval does come through, I could see a stupid parabolic move up to that 60,000 zone, that pi cycle white line that we drew earlier, before then correcting for a bit. That's my personal opinion. But again, guys, I'm going to close this out now. Remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my opinion for entertainment purposes only. And here on this channel, Market Psychology, what we are trying to do is find value where there's fear and be cautious when there's greed. There's a lot of greed right now. And so I am urging everyone to be cautious, not to say that things can't go higher. And maybe with an ETF, things do go stupid high. But I do believe that time in the market is a lot more important than timing the market. We can take a look at many indicators, starting off with the RSI, fibs, whatever, to look for areas of when to buy back in, areas where it's smarter. So we're not chasing the hype. So if you're feeling FOMO, go for a long walk, meditate for 10 minutes, wait a day, draw some lines, use some different indicators, and make your own decision. Obviously, if you're able to consult with the financial advisor, so you're not just chasing the hype. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's video on the Bitcoin breakdown, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Take care.